Hello and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey.
And I'm Jacob.
And welcome back to our Night Terrors coverage. We are almost at the end. This is our last tie-in issue coverage. This is Night Terrors Superman number 2. Very excited to talk about this one because we had a great time with the first one. And also after this, we only have 2 issues of Night Terrors left to cover, which I'm very excited about because as I've mentioned, I think at the beginning of pretty much all of these videos after the first one, I've been loving this event. It's really, really cool. So yeah, I guess let's jump right into it. Night Terror Superman number 2, once again by Joshua Williamson, who is just fucking crushing it. Oh, I love him. But yeah, let's get into it. So I love this opening sequence with Kara's nightmare.
So this will be really the first thing with Kara that I've read.
Yeah, you've had like little appearances here and there.
Little appearances. The most Supergirl I've had is the '90s Supergirl, who is a
purple blob.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like proper, Kara. We get a flashback. Well, I say flashback, a nightmare to before the destruction of Krypton and this day that her father took her out to these ruins and these skeletons like come to life. They kind of look like Doomsday, which I really love.
I think they're implied like that her dad's gonna tell her like Doomsday's origin or something is like sort of the hint in the dialogue. But yeah, these like skeletons, like this one skeleton, I should say, comes up and kills her father and comes after her, and then she's chased by these other zombie Supergirls that we saw in the last issue of Superman. Which again, I'm just loving Williamson playing into the pulpiness of this. It's really, really fun. Yeah, so Tom Riley is the artist on this issue.
Yeah, we commented on his stuff last time because what he was specifically doing there was like replicating like an older style of comics because of the way that Superman's nightmare at first took place. But now it's a very different style, and the style is the same, I should say, but it's a very different scenario for it to be in.
Yeah,
and it really, really works though.
Well, it still kind of replicates an older style of comics in ways. Like, if you look at the title page, that with all the zombie Supergirls, and then our panels at the bottom, with Clark, it feels almost like taking inspiration from the way George Perez draws group shots.
You know what? Yeah, totally. I get that.
But not like imitating Perez's like style at all.
It's still very much its own thing. And also, I don't think George Perez drew any pages quite like this.
No, I mean, were he still alive, I would love to see him do something like this.
Oh my god, could you imagine if we got some George Perez art in Night Terrors? Oh my god, I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, so we have basically this recap, and then we have to go back into the waking world, where
we catch up with the Aquafam.
Yes.
At this point, I did tell you before we started this recording, like at this point I'm just going to be counting down the days until they announce the Williamson Aquaman run. It's going to come. It's going to happen. I fucking know it. First off, Williamson has a great handle on the characters here alone, which is really fun. As someone that isn't like super familiar with a ton of the larger Aquaman family, you get a nice little feel for them, and they all get their own little moments to shine here on these first couple pages. But it's mostly about Arthur and Mira here, and them like guiding the rest of the team here because they are some of the only ones awake because of the way that their bodies are built, because of their aquatic abilities.
Because they are part fish.
Yeah, and so that's what I was trying to say. They're part fish.
They are part fish.
And so what they're doing is
would be terrified that they are part fish.
And so what they're doing is they're stopping pretty much all the natural disasters that would have been caused by everyone just falling asleep out of nowhere. They're rescuing people from the ocean, stopping things like that. And they are getting Arthur and Mira get Superman back to Supercorp, where first off we get a nice little Mercy Graves cameo, who's also asleep, obviously. And they're working on getting Superman back awake as they are attacked by one of these sleepless nights. And
this is a sleepless night made out of blood.
Which I forget. I definitely seen this one on one of the other tie-ins, but I forget what its name is.
I don't know any of their names off the top of my head.
Honestly, it's weird because I've read a lot of the tie-ins. They haven't had like many of the individual sleepless nights show up in all the tie-ins, which I think would have been cool if they had like almost like one or for every like other tie-in or something, just to like really make it feel that like Insomnia has a team here. But it's all good. We move over to the Daily Planet, where obviously everyone's asleep there, but we get a visit from one Marilyn Moonlight, who is a character that if you're not reading the main Williamson Superman run, you might be very confused by, but gets very quickly explained as Superman and Supergirl continue to work their way through their nightmares. One of Clark's things that he's dreaming about is the Wild West, pretty much because of Marilyn Moonlight. His encounter with Marilyn Moonlight and this look into Metropolis' past that we still have yet to uncover. I'm still very intrigued by. I can't wait to see more of.
I loved how this 2-issue miniseries did not have to tie into the main Superman run, like, at all. Mm-hmm. But Williamson is really smart at using it, that if you're not reading Superman, it's like, hey, you should read Superman.
Yes, and that is also a ringing endorsement from us on Blood Donut Studios. Read Superman right now. It's so fucking good. So, anyway, we continue to go through our nightmares here and our dreams as we go over to the Kent farm. We see once again that nightmare vision that Superman saw last issue, where the skull's around. We get the Fortress of Solitude and the Daily Planet, and we go into Lois's nightmares, which I love. She's being attacked by a paper monster, specifically the blank page, which is beautiful. She says she said she killed a monster deadline before they got here, which I want a Lois Lane tie-in just on its own. I just want to see what she was up to before this. I want to see her take on various reporter puns as monsters. I think that'd be great.
I think what we need is a revival of the classic title, Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane.
Yes, please. Williamson, please title. Get on it. Come on, Williamson. You're busy enough, please. Or get someone else on it if you're getting yourself too busy. But see, but Williamson has spoiled me. He's kind of like the best Superman writer ever right now. Not ever, but like right now on DC. Like I don't think there's anyone writing the character of Clark Kent better than Joshua Williamson. Truly.
I think we're kind of spoiled for good Superman content.
Absolutely.
Publishing right now. Totally. And airing if you're not watching My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, totally. Watch My Adventures with Superman as well. This is just becoming an ad for things. Anyway, but as Superman, Supergirl, and Lois Lane team up, the Daily Planet begins to crumble, and catching the globe is once again our Angel of Death, Superman, the Super Reaper, who once again just has the coolest fucking design ever. I love this guy. And we get this final showdown between Superman, Supergirl, and the Super Reaper. And as this happens, Arthur and Mira get Superman awake finally.
Arthur has to swim through a torrent of blood?
Yes. To which Arthur says, "You think this is the first time I've had to swim in blood?" Fucking what? I mean, it's probably true. I probably just haven't read it. But what? So that happens. Superman is awake now. He freezes. The sleepless night that's after Arthur here, and Kara and Lois, tell them that they're all right now, and as we part ways here, Superman decides to go back to where it all began, at the Hall of Justice, and that is where we end our issue. Not before, of course, seeing inside Superman's skull. It looks like a Brainiac symbol, right?
That's what I thought. I'm like, what?
Which also, if you've been reading Superman, we had a little Brainiac tease at the end of the annual recently. I don't know how this ties into Night Terrors, if this ties into Night Terrors, or if it's just a tease for other things happening in Superman.
Okay, so the closing caption is to be continued in Night Terrors Night's End, and Superman's adventures continue in Superman 2023 Annual, on sale now, and Superman Never Sticks next month.
Yeah, so clearly they're telling you, it's not just Night Terrors, go read the rest, which once again, you should. But yeah, it's...
I think I saw Williamson teasing issue 6 on Twitter as start of a new arc.
Yeah. So it could also be it's not many issues to catch up on as it is, but if you're not caught up, you could pick up with issue 6 if you want to. It seems that way.
And be pretty fine. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Night Terror Superman number 2.
I really enjoyed this mini.
Right? Yeah, it was really great. Yeah.
I mean, maybe my, like, if I had to give one complaint, the Super Reaper could have shown up a little more. But also,
yeah, because I love the way he was built up in #1, but he is kind of like hand waved away in issue 2 here.
Yeah, but I mean,
you could have played into like, you know, you could also play into like the Super Reaper being like, you know, the manifestation of Superman's fears. You know, you could have played into that more here. But for what it is, like, you know, it works.
It's very good. Also, again, wasn't expecting Aquaman in the Aquaman family, but
yep. No complaints. No complaints.
Give it. I mean, you know, I would be very tempted if Williamson gets an Aquaman run to make that another one-shot. Like,
I would love that, but also, I mean, I also just need to, like, on a personal level, I need to stop buying as many current comics as I am and just wait for trades, but I'm so bad at that. Like, my current pull list is massive. It's unfair.
see, mine is tiny technically because it's
it's literally just 3 titles. And
it's 3 titles.
Yeah, that's all it is though. But speaking of, actually, important to note that next week continues our Night Terrors coverage with Night Terrors #4, as well as next week we have Batman the Brave and the Bold #4 coming out. We're continuing, I think, the winning card with Tom King. Continuing the Stormwatch stuff by Ed Brisson. Starting a new story about Amelia Harcourt and continuing Black and White. It's Brave and the Bold has just been an awesome anthology as a whole, and I'm really looking forward to where it's going these next couple issues. So, yeah.
Yes. And then on the podcast proper, this week we released our episode on book 1 of the Saga of the Swamp Thing.
Yes, be sure to check that out. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
In just over a week, we will be releasing our episode on Hellblazer.
Yes, Hellblazer, the first 2 volumes. Yeah.
That's a big one and a lot of fun.
Yep.
And Joey released a special comics-related video on Tuesday.
That's true. Yes. I thought you were gonna plug the Steel commentary at first. You're not. So, but also watch the Steel commentary if you want to die or something. I don't know. But be sure to check out our recent comic scene dub of the Sandman. It's from the Song of Orpheus. I got my wonderful friends Brian and Marcus to play Orpheus and Destruction respectively. They did fantastic jobs, the both of them. Just really great stuff. I love what they did with the work, and you should check that out. So yeah. And I guess that about does it, right? All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.